Welcome, everybody, to episode 8 of Community Chronicles, a DDPY community video interview series. Submit your shorter subtitles now. My special guest today is someone that I asked myself, why haven't I talked to this guy yet? It is the one and only Rick Anderson. Welcome, Rick.
Thanks for having me on.
Rick and I are brethren of RTD Fitness. We are one half of Mark, along with Melissa Jenkins and Kevin Murray. Several months before Melissa finally pointed out that our four initials spelt our leader's first name.
Yeah, that was a good catch.
And we're
Pretty
we're
funny.
sitting here over coffee at 6:30 on a Saturday morning, and it feels just like home because we work out every Tuesday and Thursday together during the wake and shakes at what is 5 a.m. for us.
5 a.m.
Yes, you come for the conversation and you stay for the workout. So this is something we do every week. So I figured, why not get this on video and let some other people experience Rick Anderson. So just like we do in every one of these, Rick, why don't you give us a quick rundown of kind of what got you here, what was wrong with you, and then what has the DDPY program done for you?
Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, what wasn't broken. I had my about 2 years ago. I had my second cancer diagnosis, and I was only 52 at the time, and I'm wondering what the hell, why me again, and I think the first time I had it, and maybe we'll talk about that later, but the first time I had it, I was really positive. Everything went well. I beat it, and then everything was cruising along for almost 9 years, and then bam, I get another one, and this time my attitude wasn't so great. I was told it was non-curable, which that's all you hear. You don't hear it's treatable part. If we're lucky. But you just hear the part about not being curable, and I think I just started to get to a point where I was kind of letting myself go a little bit, and started putting on weight, and was probably more depressed than I'd probably ever been in my life, and I was just sitting around one day, and I happened to be scrolling through YouTube looking at stuff, and I came across Arthur's video, probably like a gazillion other people have, and just I watched it, and I watched it again, and just sat there and thought, holy shit. you know I got to try this stuff. So I got the trial. I tried it for a day, thought this is it. I paid for it, and haven't looked back since. That was March 5th. I haven't missed a day of working out since then, and it's the workout's one thing, but I think it's just been the community, some of the people that I've met along the way, yourself and Mark DeSico. I mean, like two of my brothers from another mother. I just feel like I've never met in person either one of you two, but can't wait for the day when I do get to, because it's just been it's like when Dallas talks about find the 4 or 5 people that you want to hang out with, that are going to help you be who you want to be. It's like I'm doing that virtually, because I work a lot of hours. I see a lot of people every day, but they're not necessarily, and I hope none of them are watching this, but they're not necessarily the people I'm going to hang out with after work. I mean, it's just not what I do, and I'm not a big socialite. So it's just been great to meet people that inspire me and keep me going, and hopefully I give a little bit of that back to them as well. And so the weight loss has been great. I've lost about 50 pounds, well, exactly 50 pounds, I guess, since March 5th. And I had actually dropped about 10 before I started this. And, I feel great. I'm more flexible. I'm stronger. Got better balance. And, but I think for me, it's just been the people, just feeling like you kind of got your tribe. And though I only see them through a screen, I feel like they're some of the best people I have in my life. So I think that's been the biggest thing that's changed, for me. And I got to shout out, like Melissa Jenkins. I mean, love that girl. She's just you turn on the device in the morning to work out at 5 a.m. and that's what you've been waiting for, is to see those people all week. And so Travis Mahaffey, another one, I've been working with him a little bit, and I mean, Captain Shamrock Shake himself. I mean, I just, love being around that guy. And so I think for me, that's what it's really been. That's where it's kind of gotten me to where I am today. I feel like I've got my life back and just done a 180. So
Awesome. First of all, I'm flattered that you include me in that elite group of people that you want to emulate. My advice would be probably emulate me least. But you're right. This is virtual. We don't get to sit across the table from each other and have coffee every morning. But that's actually, for me, I think the coolest thing about this community is that it gives us a chance to interact with people who wouldn't normally interact with.
right.
Imagine you doing this same exercise program, but at the local hot yoga studio.
Mm-hmm.
With a bunch of Target moms in Lululemon pants. It just wouldn't be the same.
No way. No way.
This program allows you to find people with common ground.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I think that's exactly what it is. It's people who are here for a reason, not just because they live near the hot yoga gym. I mean, it's totally different demographic, totally different.
And I can spit that right back at you, Rick, that you're one of the guys that I admire, and that I'm like, I need to be more like Rick, because I see, looking at your history, aside from kicking cancer's ass once, currently in the process of kicking its ass again, you're a civil servant, right? You're a former police officer, and currently a firefighting EMT instructor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So my history. I worked as a police officer. I've been a volunteer fire chief. I worked as a paramedic, and now for the last 20 years I've been at a college, and I'm currently an associate dean. So I oversee the day-to-day operations of our entire School of Human and Protective Services. So I have all the fire, EMS, law enforcement programs, corrections. And then the anomalies, I have early childhood education and health and wellness promotion on the human services side of things. And so, I oversee a shit ton of people and a lot of programs, and we change a lot of lives there, so it's a cool job. But that's really what I've done my whole life. I've just always have served people. People have told me they don't think I have a mean bone in my body, and I'm just generally nice to people all the time. And if I get pissed off at somebody, that must have been something freaking major, because it takes a lot. So
I'll keep that in mind.
Right. Note to self.
That portfolio of work really speaks to your selflessness and your servant attitude. And I think that's one of the things that you bring to this community, is just you're always looking to help people. You're very empathetic, just naturally, and easy to talk to.
Yeah.
What we've kind of covered what the community, what difference it's made for you. Was there a point? No, it's only been 6 months so far, but was there a point in your sojourn so far where the switch kind of flipped? Was there something new that you tried that just took it to a different level within the program for you?
Yeah, I think, so I started with because I'd gotten to a point where just by the nature of my job, I think, not even so much, from letting myself go at some point, but just the nature of my job and sitting a lot, I'd pretty much turned into a petrified muscle person, and so I started with the standing with a chair program, and, just kind of doing the stand strong stuff. And, I did that every day, twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. And I just kept doing it. And I was almost like scared to kind of push myself past that. And even though I was following the program, I'd look ahead and I'd be like, well, I hope that slows down. I don't really want to try energy. I don't know if I'm ready for that. But, it was just one day I just kind of started adding in extra stuff that, was outside of that realm. And And then, pretty soon it was on to some of the jack stuff and, checking out a lot more of the live workouts and, finding the things I like. I love King's sumo stuff. That's always a great workout. And, some of the gator stuff that Hayden has on there. And, I think once I started pushing myself past that and, lost the chair and said, the hell with that, I don't need that stuff anymore. And, that's when I really noticed the biggest gains. I would say that's where the switch was flipped, was just losing the chair and just realizing I was beyond that.
Yeah, challenging yourself.
Yeah, so I just kind of reset actually, I haven't been, since I finished standing with a chair, I haven't actually done one of the programs. I've been doing custom since. I just pick my workouts every day and I, find the stuff that's going to challenge me rather than, just kind of plodding along with the same course every day.
And I think that's where the live workouts come in for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. DDP says to check your ego at the door, but, you got to take a little bit of it through to a live workout where, yes, the instructors all show us the modifications. They tell us to make it our own, but there's a little video when you're on camera and other people can see it. They're like, well, I can't put the knee here.
Right. Well, I remember it's funny because, the very first time we worked out, or I worked out with Mark and you guys, and, and I got the camera on, I'm thinking, shit, I don't want anybody watching me. Right. So a couple of times I think Mark even, well, how you doing, Rick's living room? I'm like off on the side in the corner, doing my thing. And finally I was like, screw it. And I just turned the thing forward. And after that, so I think that's another spot that kind of changed too. I wasn't even thinking on the live side of things when he asked that question, but, I think that's kind of where
you're helping that instructor when they can see you.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I think, for me too, that was another, just kind of that self-confidence, flip of the switch from that aspect of things.
I would say that in the damn room, man, nobody's paying that much attention.
Right.
We want you there. We are certainly not judging.
Yeah.
Is there something that you find yourself doing now that you just didn't imagine that you would be or could be doing 6 months ago?
If there is, I would have to say it's probably in the area of some of the flexibility stuff the gains that I've had. I mean, I thought I would never ever again be able to do some of the things I'm already doing. I'm still as inflexible as hell, and I just asked Travis if you need some confirmation of that. But I think, I never thought that in 6 months I would find myself with completely locked knees, being able to bend over at the waist and put my palms flat on the floor.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And, number one, I never thought my belly would shrink enough for me to allow myself to do that. But number two, that I would ever be able to stretch my muscles enough to, my tendons and everything else, ligaments. And I just, so some of those things I think have been probably where I've noticed that the most.
Yeah, I find I'm very bendy front to back. I still have no flexibility side to side.
Yeah.
But front to back, I'm a bendy bitch.
Yeah, my hips are my limiter. I'll tell you, my right one especially. My left hip is pretty good. My right hip is just really locked up yet. So I'm still working on that one, but we're getting there. My left knee is kind of opened up. I'm starting to break that up a little bit, and my catcher is a lot better. But yeah, that right hip, I'm gonna have to hook that thing onto a tow truck and yank it out or something.
Yeah, well, you got to put it in perspective as to how long you've been doing this versus how long you've been wrecking those joints.
Right, exactly.
So when you compare those two things, it's really amazing how quickly you start to feel better and how quickly you start to loosen up.
Yeah.
So one thing I'm kind of disappointed, I got to throw this in there, that I can't remember the last time I saw Rick without a headband on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I kind of thought you might go there, so I thought, I can always bring something along here. I even brought the shamrock colored one along with me. Just
awesome.
Shout out to Trav. So, but
the headband portfolio of this man is unmatched. It's a
Yeah.
different one every day.
I really, it's just something I've always done. Every time I've exercised, I've always had on something. I'm not exercising now, so I'm taking it back off. But but yeah, I've got a gazillion colors and designs, and we've got lemons, we've got Halloween, theme stuff and whatever. But yeah, I'm a sweater. I can't,
Yeah, I hear
especially
you
this
there.
stuff where your head's in all these different. I mean, stuff's running in my eyes all the time. I was like, no, I've got to put this thing on. So yeah,
I've recently I tried headbands, but I'm usually by the time we're through the warm up, it's soaking wet. So
yeah,
uh, I just keep a towel handy, and I've recently started using yoga towels on the mat,
mm,
and find that I'm much less likely to slip in a puddle of my own sweat if I got that on there.
yeah.
So one thing that I did real special for you because you wore the headband, I got this custom T-shirt that I made for you. Big Rick energy because that's what everybody needs to feel. If you spend some time with Rick, this man just kind of lifts you up, whether by his intention or no. So I encourage anybody
Oh
who has a
shit.
chance to spend
Oh,
time with Rick to do so.
that's
Um,
awesome.